All right, welcome everybody. I'm going live now Monday night. It feels like it's been a long time since I've streamed on a Monday night. It used to be the only night I streamed, but here I am. So welcome everyone. Tonight is going to be a special stream. I feel like I have a few special streams coming up that are on the horizon that need to happen. Tonight is one of those special ones because I've invited all of the Alterna Comics creators. I realize not all of them are going to make it, but we're gonna have a few alternate comics creators here. Want to talk about the campaign, but I also really want to get into some of the books coming out through Alterna, and some of the just cool stuff that's happening in the future. So it should be a good stream. I'm going to get things warmed up because I know that Peter is finishing up his stream right now. He's going to come over here. That's the plan afterward. But I don't want to make him kick anyone off. I figure the warming up part, let's just do it now. We'll do it live. That way we can get people into the stream, and then we'll have the main event come up. But I have some updates for you all before we get into the stream, and it's probably better that I do it right now anyway, so I'm not making all the alternate creators wait on me. So I've actually been doing a lot of shipping, and I mean, not a lot. I've started some shipping for Downcast 3. Specifically, I sent out the original art page, the original cover, rather, that was, backed, which was fantastic. Last day, that was a really exciting one. So that has been shipped. I'm also shipping out t-shirts. So those of you that ordered just a t-shirt, we have that in the mail. I'm going to continue to ship out t-shirts because if you remember, we planned to ship them separately. So they were not shipping with, with your package. Like, let's say you're getting books and everything, shipping t-shirt with a book didn't make a lot of sense. So they're shipping separately anyway. So I'm going to go ahead and ship those out. So you're probably going to get your t-shirt before you're going to get your books, which will be, I don't know, kind of a fun little palate cleanser, we could call it. I don't know. It'll be a little treat. So that should be fun. So then I got to show you something else. Like, again, I've got stuff to show you. So first off, though, let me say hello to Aaron Olson. Welcome. I love that you have been a member of the channel now for I don't know how long, but you're moving on up. You can see the candy on your icon. Let me highlight you here. So I can't see it in StreamYard, but I can see it if I'm on YouTube. So it looks like a little candy, sweet cast candy. It's a sort of 8-bit design. So really appreciate you, Aaron, for supporting the channel in that way. And I'm going to do my darndest. Every time you talk, I'm going to highlight it. So if you haven't joined the channel yet, it's a good idea to do so. I'm also planning, I think, a private stream because I think we have 2 people that are members. So we're going to do it. We're going to do a private stream for members only and see how that goes. Should be fun. But appreciate you being here. George Peter Gatsis is here. Where is the madness happening? This is it. Everyone is streaming tonight, but I have a good feeling. I think people are, many streams are going to be wrapping up pretty soon. It should be fun. Ryan Wynn is here. Speaking of great Alterna creators, hello, Ryan. Aaron Olson's happy about that. Death Curse, the most wholesome man at Alterna. I don't know about that. We'll see. We'll have a fight for it. Would that be wholesome? You're not publishing Pete. You're not wrong. I'm not. But publishing Pete will be here when he's good and ready to be here. Yeah, ton of dudes wrapping up currently. Absolutely. I think this is actually a good idea to stream. Join. If you're going to join, I dropped the link, so you're welcome to come pop in. I was just on Pete's show. Awesome. Yeah, I actually was watching for a bit there as I was packing up t-shirts, and it's I don't know. It's always great because you see so many new creators with awesome looking books. It really is great. So I want to show you this before we get into the Alterna stuff. I'm going to share my screen. I'm going to share audio. I go over here. All right. So I have a very good friend. When I say very good friend, I cannot overemphasize it. I have a very good friend named Chaz Wagamon. He is a good dude. He's also an amazing professional. He started his company doing animation, a little bit of illustration, not much, mainly animation, a lot of other art-based things. I've known him since high school. We used to play in a band together. He's a really good dude. So he was also kind enough. You may recognize these two pieces of art from him. This is the variant cover for Fatal, which this will show you the width, the breadth of his ability to do art in different styles. It is pretty amazing. So this was from Fatal, that variant cover, which looked so cool. It's sort of like cubist meets realism. I don't know how else to describe it, but it's really cool. And then if you also line that up with this print, Chaz did this print for me for my very first campaign. And the great thing about it is I was launching the campaign. I had sold my collection of magic cards, my most expensive ones that I had. I what else did I sell? I sold a guitar. I sold what I could to scrape up enough money to launch a campaign, to like produce pages for Downcast. And for me, it was a massive leap of faith. And so one of those things is I thought I need something to give people for a secret perk. This was back before anybody was doing secret perks that I knew of. And I needed something to sort of sweeten the deal. So you could buy this, it would just be a sort of an upsell. So Chaz, in his greatness and generosity, he did this for me at a ridiculously embarrassingly low price. Like, it's embarrassing. I still feel terrible about how little I paid him because I didn't have money for it. But you can see what I got was a fantastic print. And I said this print is limited just to a certain number. I don't remember what that number was at the moment. I could probably look it up. And I printed it to that number and we sold out of those prints. So it was fantastic. We had a good run with this print, and a lot of people talked about it. It got the campaign a lot of attention, my very first campaign. And so I'm really grateful for Chaz. The reason why I tell you this about Chaz is because he is not a comics guy. He does art of all sorts of different kinds, but he decided that he would launch a campaign. His company, again, that he owns, they do animation, they do other things like that. They decided to get in and try to do a card game. And if you know much about me, I like games as well. And it's actually something I really feel like has been missing in the comics realm, is having our characters, having these branded characters on a card game, so that you can have I don't know, just play with your characters. Like, it's a great way to sort of expand the IP. So he's launching a campaign soon. This is his very first campaign. His company's doing it. What they have down is a really good looking card game. They have, I mean, like, they animated the video that explains how to play the game, that the pitch video, all that, it's animated, that they did themselves. It looks amazing. Excuse me. Looks amazing. But what it's missing is a little bit, I don't know, it always needs more marketing. And so I want to invite him on the show. He didn't ask me to be on the show, but because he did me a solid and he's always been a good friend, I wanted to invite him on the show. So I don't know when that show is going to happen, but I can tell you his campaign's launching October 1st. And I'll be sure to let everyone know. But what I hope is that when this campaign launches, I hope it does well, that they can make it. And I've already talked to him about this. This is by no means set in stone. What I want to do is some kind of an expansion pack that has at least my characters, if not more characters. I've got a few ideas for that. Obviously, it's not mine, but he's open to talking about it. So I think it's just a good idea anyway. Really cool dude. So I want to show you his video because it's pretty impressive. But while I'm doing that, let's invite David into the stream here. Hello, welcome.
Hey man, how's it going?
Very good. It's good to finally have you on my channel. Not that I've sent out that many invites, but we stream several times.
Right.
So it's good to have you here.
Hey, what's up, guys?
Also, we have Lisa. Hello.
Yeah, hey, how you doing? I just literally jumped right off Pete's open mic. He should be here in a minute. He's just closing out. So
Nice.
Okay.
Well, we're like I said, I'm gonna warm up the room. Now we've got 15 people in here, so we're warming it up. But you guys are gonna help me
Nice.
out. So we're gonna talk Alterna.
You're opening up.
Yeah, we're opening for the big event. That's exactly what it feels like. But what I want to do is show you guys. This is my friend's video for his. They're gonna launch on October 1st, but it's for a game.
Mm-hmm.
And
really?
yeah, so I'm gonna it's for a card game. So he's not a comic book guy, but he's got a card game that looks pretty dang cool. And we've been talking a little bit. I think it would be awesome to do another version of this that has comic book characters. So I don't know. We'll talk about it, but let's watch this here real quick.
Hello, Internet people. I'm Chaz Wagamon, owner and co-founder of Digital Grady Animation. We're a team of goofballs and great friends, except for Alex, our other co-founder. He's always telling us we should get along or work as a team. So, we decided to make a peaceful game to beat each other down. Chow Pow! The new matching and battling game that we want your money for. Where you use factions of food like Muffin Mafia and Citrus Cyborgs to fight for domination. All you need is a few of your frenemies, 2 to 6 players. The goal of Chow Pow is just like arguing online. Score the most points possible. Yeah! Which you do by battling to steal cards from opposing players. Your turn starts off sort of like that matching memory game. You begin by flipping over 2 cards. If they're from the same faction, like the Pizza Pirates clan, that's a match. You get to add one of the surrounding cards and any cards beneath it to your arsenal of food fighting foods. Then you can sit pretty and pass to the next player, or if you're playing with a jerk like my co-founder Alex, you can choose to battle him and take his cards. Slam down one of your cards as a challenge. And your opponent will try to counter with a card of their own.
I'll kill you, Burger Man.
Whoever's number is higher wins.
Oh, Goose, I'm dying.
But if you need extra help, you can one-up the other player by calling for backup. Add same faction cards to the battle, a wild card, or the elusive split wild card, which lets you attack with 2 factions at once and obliterate your competition, leaving them lonely and sad. When you win your former friends' cards, you add them to your ever-growing point pile. Whoever's pile has the most points by the end of the game wins and gains eternal glory and bragging rights for the rest of time. Or at least until you decide to play again. And maybe this time you can turn up the heat with the special hot sauce rules, or keep the party going with the 3-course meal brawl. Please give us money, and we'll be happy. Thanks for watching our video.
All right, that's good enough. They're I love that they're so on the nose about please give us money.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's their video for their campaign. It launches October 1st, which is this week. I talked to him about a mailing list and stuff, and he's like, that's the hard part. We've been trying to build it up. Anyway, so I want to help him out the best I can. No, he's not my brother. He's my brother from another mother. But yeah, he's a friend. We go way back. We used to play in bands together in high school. He helped me out by doing artwork for my very first campaign, and he basically did it for free. So he's been a really cool dude to me and helped me out. So anyway, be looking for that. I want to do a special stream with him. But what I'd love is we'll get Pete in here. I think it'd be so cool to do like a comics POW or a Alterna POW. I don't know how we'd work that out, but I'm just throwing it out there. I think it would be cool. That's all my point is. But Peter,
That would be
how's it
awesome.
going? You've been streaming constantly.
I have.
I mean, at least for an hour. Okay.
I'm doing good, man. Thank you for doing this tonight. It's going to be fun to talk about some of the books.
Nice. Yeah. No, I'm excited about it. I kind of want to. I'm taking to heart something you've said probably a few times, that people want to connect with the characters. So
Yes.
on your stream, I said we're going to talk about the books and the stories, but I paused. What I actually want to talk about are the characters. So I'd love to go through and have creators here talk about their characters, and we can learn about those characters a little bit more in depth. So for everyone in the chat, I posted a link to this landing page for my friend Chaz Wagamon. Again, he's not a comic book guy, but if you're interested in the card game, check him out. We'll stream with him later another time. But for today, it's all about Alterna. Maybe I'll start here. Awesome. How is it going, everybody? Welcome to the Sweetcast.
We're live.
We're live. This is
Oh man. Okay.
That was me being so formal. So this is my formal Clint.
Gotcha.
All
All right.
I'm still thinking about the Alterna card game in my head. I think that could be awesome.
It would be awesome. I could arrange it to some degree, but yeah, obviously there's a lot of moving parts and IP and everything, so I get that. But the low hanging fruit would be it's very possible to sort of unite Downcast or Fatal or both for sure, because I own those. You guys own your own properties, which is a nice thing. So it could be any number of things possibly, but we want to see how his card game goes first, and I wish it success. So, but I think that would be sweet though to just add a playable card game.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I haven't played a trading card game in the longest time. Maybe like 23 years.
Yeah, it's been a while. The nice thing is like this. It just be like a one set thing. It's not really a trading card game. It's just a card game, I guess. But I don't know. Trading card games can be fun. They take a lot of maintenance though, in just keeping the rules balanced.
The mechanics, yeah.
Yeah.
Tabletop games though are huge again though.
They are.
I mean, I see so many games like Barnes and Noble sells like 3 shelves of them worth now. You know what I mean? Like, so it's definitely something that it's making a comeback. It's weird.
I'd like to do like an old-fashioned board game.
That would be fun.
Yeah.
With dice and
little
characters.
Monopoly, like
just
Monopoly,
move
where every like every section is a different Alterna universe character.
Yeah,
something.
right.
That would be kind of fun.
There's some really creative takes on games like that, just classic board games too. That I don't know. There's a lot you could do as far as mechanics go to make it pretty fun. So, but yeah. So what I want to do is introduce. If you don't know about the Alterna campaign, let's maybe explain that. Pete's probably the best person to do so. Tell us about this pre-order. Here we go. Fall pre-orders. What's the deal? What gives?
What gives? Okay. Yeah. Well, this is our fall pre-order campaign here. We've got 10 new comics, and this is in the past. This is a very different campaign than we've had before. In the past on Indiegogo, we've had comics that it was like Alterna Ween with big bundles of, the it's all over the place, the condition, the kind of title. Those were used for trick-or-treats. We've had the Because You Demanded It campaign, which was a bunch of reprints getting made again. This is the first campaign we've ever had where it's all new books. So all of these are new for the first time. The backers are going to be getting completely new books. And of course, we do have back issues and things like that in there with the add-ons, but we're putting out the 10 new issues here. We got Red Koi number 5. We've got Downcast number 3. We've got Mighty Mascots number 4. Tinseltown Losing the Light number 4. Wolf and Batsy makes its debut number 1 and 2. Hey, Ryan. We've got Blood Realm, that giant, volume 3. We've got T-Bird and Throttle number 3. That's also a giant. The giant size price tag of $5 comes with that too. 80 pages for $5 is pushing it. I hear that's very expensive in the comic industry. And the thing with this campaign is that you can actually pick and choose also single issues. So if you just want one issue for $2, plus $5 shipping if you're in the U.S. Shipping is, of course, higher if you're outside the U.S. You can do that. And you can also pick and choose a bunch of add-ons and create your own personalized bundle. Shipping maintains a flat $5 across the board for the U.S. backers.
Fantastic. And I think, so I made a video on this a few days ago, but I think it's notable in that this is a comics publisher that's doing the pre-orders for, like, it could essentially be previews. Like it's the pre-orders, but it's on a crowdfunded campaign. So this is potentially how it could be done for a lot of publishers, or for Alterna going, who knows how far into the future, who knows, but this is a potential route for comic books to get pre-ordered and then into the market without using Diamond. And it's a pretty great alternative. I don't know about sales numbers wise, but it's already past 10K, which is impressive. It's only been live for a few days now.
Honestly,
so-
that's better than any Diamond purchase order total we ever got. I'll be perfectly transparent with that. As far as this goes, just blows away working with Diamond on anything with what they've done in the past. Things like the add-ons of trying to have the back issues on there. That's something that I always was asking our brand manager, could we do that? We have like an issue 3 or an issue 4 coming out, and we still have copies of 1, 2, and 3 or whatever it may be. And I would say, can we get that listed as well for anyone that may have missed out? This way, it isn't a barrier to entry saying, well, it's issue 4. It looks good. I heard stuff about it, but I can't get my hands on 1, 2, and 3, so I'm not going to bother getting this. I wanted to kind of eliminate that. And Diamond didn't want to do that. So with this kind of thing, if you see an issue here that you like and you think, oh, that series sounds interesting, this is the first time I'm hearing about it, you can actually get the issue, go into the add-ons, and purchase the back issues, which I think is very important for a campaign like this. If you don't want to wait, you can always go to alternaaccess.com and then purchase them right now, and then you get them in a couple of days and still have time to back the campaign. So that's an option too. But if you do want to wait, you don't mind waiting, you can get everything all in one shot that has to do with each of these campaign books. And on top of that, you also get exclusives on the campaign. You get your first ever #1 Alterna Comics trading card from the Alterna series, which is Ico from Red Koi. That's the #1 card in the series. This is the only way you're going to be able to get this card, is through backing this campaign. At the 15K mark, we're going to add another trading card, the second card in the series. We unveiled the card, the front of the card art. It's Chiron Morvel of Blood Realm. So he's going to have a card, and that's how you start to build your Alterna trading card set too. And that kind of thing, to me, I think is a lot of fun, because of the fact that, like you said before, it's about the characters. And the thing is that you can have the most interesting story in the world, but if you have characters that people just don't care about them, they don't care what happens to them, they don't care what they're doing, it doesn't matter how interesting that story is, doesn't matter what's going on. If that character isn't interesting to them, if they don't root for them or root against them, they tune out. They don't care.
Yeah,
we all feel that way about characters. Every single comic character you can think of, too, especially. The reason that comic is loved, the reason those stories are loved, is because the characters were loved. The reason you have merchandise, a t-shirt, a poster, whatever it may be, a toy, is because you love the character. So these trading cards, when I was a kid, I got into Marvel trading cards, DC trading cards, but Marvel in particular. They had a lot of the character bios and the stats and stuff like that on the back of the card. We're kind of bringing that same fun to this set as well. So even though it's not entirely a superhero kind of thing that what we publish at Alterna, you can still see how the characters stack up. You can still see what they're all about, and you can still read their bio as well and get to know something about them, and maybe discover characters you never knew about before. And then you go and you want to check out their book and say, wow, that character actually sounds pretty cool. I didn't know that character was like that. Let me check that book out. But if you want to collect a trading card set, this is the only way to do it. We're going to offer trading cards every single campaign. And again, as soon as you back the campaign, physical perk backers, you get a trading card, and you get the collector case Rad Rose set too. So you get that front pocket insert, and you get the 2 side pocket inserts. You can't beat it.
Yeah, good deal. I had several people have been commenting in the chat. Sorry, chat, I'm not ignoring you. Just catching up. A lot of people said the add-ons are something notable, and I gotta say, I backed the campaign because I want to read all these Alterna books too and keep up with everything. And so I went through and backed it, got a ton of books for really not that much money. I don't remember exactly how much I spent, but part of it was the add-ons, because you can basically pick any of these. Let's say you want to pick Downcast. because we're here. Why not?
Why not?
You pick Downcast, and then you can essentially, it's a shopping cart. You can put whatever you want in your cart because of all of the add-ons. So it's really actually a slick system because you can tailor your perk to whatever you want it to be. It was really nice and convenient for me as a backer. And so, definitely check it out. You can pick any of these, and then you can go through the add-ons. But I like this addition too here, Peter, where you got that gallery. I don't think this was here initially.
No, I added that yesterday. Yep.
Great idea, because then you get to see the cover, you get to see a couple interior pages, and it gives you a feel for the whole thing. This came out on a Wednesday. The whole thing's black and white, correct?
Yep, that whole issue is going to be a black and white issue. Every bit of it, cover to cover.
Awesome. Yeah, that's fun. Great cover on that one too. Yeah, you get a little taste of everything in each of the books. So there's so many of these that I'm looking forward to. I picked up the entire run of Tinseltown. That was on my list to pick up. I had Tinseltown number 1, but now I have everything Tinseltown. So I'm going to binge the whole thing. I'm really looking forward to that.
Awesome.
Mighty Mascots, been there, already binged it. Great book.
Thanks.
Ryan's book. We don't have your book on here just yet, but potentially, I don't know if there's going to be a fall one or a spring one is the plan, but potentially Ryan could be on the next one with his book as well, but which we will talk about tonight as well. Also,
one thing I forgot, we hit the 10,000 mark. So at the 10,000 mark, it's actually it's unlocked a stretch goal bonus for everybody. So you get a 6x9 print of one of the covers. If you could scroll down again, sorry, Clint.
Yeah, no, you're good.
Scroll down again to right there. Yep, right there. So you get one random. Every physical perk backer is going to get one random 6x9 print of the cover art that doesn't have any of the layout elements on there. And the reason we're making it random and not just picking one or not just saying choose one is I want to encourage trading among the peer group here.
Yeah.
It's going to be the trading card print that you never knew you wanted. This way, you guys can open it up. You get a nice surprise. You get this bonus item here. And then if you want certain ones or you want to collect them all, maybe you don't want it. Maybe you're a backer that doesn't like any of this stuff. Trade with someone, give it away, sell it. It's up to you to do that afterwards. We want to encourage talking amongst the fans and the readers and just some of the stuff that I really love about just when I was collecting comics as a kid, when I collect comics even now, some of those bonus type things that get you more involved with your fellow comic reader. I love those things. And I think we're missing a lot of that kind of fun stuff nowadays in comics. So you're going to get a random 6x9 print of one of the covers. And again, at the 15K mark, we'll unlock another trading card, the Chiron Morvel trading card. And that's a bonus free for all the physical perk backers as well.
Nice. I love that because I kind of laugh. I do trading cards on my campaigns, and there's like no trading. Everyone gets the same card or cards. So it's like there's something missing here. So I'm glad you're doing this because I thought even with me making those packs, those little wax packs, having them be randomized would make it a little bit more fun because you don't know what you're going to get. So yeah, I love that concept.
And that's the thing with this campaign, even with the trading cards. So if you back multiple times, you only get one collector case set, the Rad Rose collector case set. But if you back like 2 or 3 or 4 times, you'll get 2 or 3 or 4 trading cards. So you could have extras of certain cards. And in the future, people may have missed out on this campaign, or people may just want the trading cards. Again, you can sell these things on eBay. You can trade with your fellow comic readers out there. You're going to see 3 or 4 or 5 campaigns down the line, people actually trading them, talking about them, moving them along, putting them up on eBay. And we're happy to see that kind of a thing. I think it grows Alterna in a very fun and organic way too.
Yeah, absolutely. So if you're watching now, we got 30 people here or so. If you're watching right now and you haven't backed, or maybe you have and you want another entry to get another one of those trading prints, then back it here, because then I can justify why I'm an Alterna creator, and Peter won't fire me. That's really what this is about.
I'll be like, so we went on that show, Clint, and we got refunds. We didn't even get backers. We got refunds.
Sweetcast surge, more like Sweetcast stink. Am I right? No, we can't let that happen. So please back the campaign. It'll really help everyone out. It's a win-win-win for everyone. So thank you very much. And if you backed, show it off. We'll go ahead and post in the chat what your backer number, and you have bragging rights. We will honor you. We will applaud you. I think I saw someone post a backer number earlier.
Yeah, we got a Nick Rose, number 266. I think maybe he backed during the campaign. Let's check it out.
There we go. Yeah, 266. Here we'll refresh this as well. There we go.
All right.
Moving on up, Nick. Thank you so much for backing the campaign. Really appreciate you. Everyone, if you want a standing ovation, that's how you get it. It's that easy. And you can get in for as low as $2 for a book, I guess, plus shipping. But you might as well snag a whole bunch of copies. All right, let's talk about some characters. How does that sound? Volunteer, who wants to start to talk about their character?
Don't all go at once.
Dave's face, he's got it. You want to talk about Tinseltown?
Sure. I'll talk about Tinseltown. Yeah, I mean, the main character in Tinseltown is Abigail Moore, and she is one of the first female police officers in Hollywood. And I think what makes her interesting as a character is, on one level, she is trying to find her place in oftentimes indifferent, if not outright hostile world. She wants to be a police officer, and there's only so many limited positions at the Los Angeles Police Department, and they're all filled. So she ends up working for a movie studio in their quote unquote police department, which is really sort of a cross between being more like a lot security guard and somebody there to amuse and assist the tourists. So on one hand, she's kind of ahead of her time. She knows what she wants, and what she wants isn't something that is common or is going to be easily given to her. But at the same time, she is kind of grounded and conservative compared to the world of Hollywood that she finds herself in. And so her and her boyfriend are both kind of trying to find their way in this somewhat new and exciting and vibrant, but at the same time unmoored world. And one of the nice things is that because they have each other, they can kind of ground each other as they're trying to carve out a life for themselves in this, new Hollywood that is emerging and taking over, growing like a, wildflower.
Very cool. It's one of those titles that people talk about all the time. Have you ever had a fan tell you something insightful about your character? I know it's a tough question. Maybe it's a tough question, but sometimes fans that read your books will tell you, like, hey, I like this thing about your character, and they can articulate it in a way that you maybe haven't thought about it. That's so specific, but I don't know how's the fan reaction been? There's your safe way out if it's not that specific.
Yeah, I don't know if anybody has done that. Although it's funny, we were talking about how there's a bunch of werewolves in Alterna books lately, and I had to point out that because Utopia Studios is sort of a pastiche of Universal Studios, that's really what it was based on. Sort of as kind of a nudge in joke, one of the main characters in the first Tinseltown graphic novels name was Claude Wolfman.
Oh, yeah.
And so that
werewolf confirmed.
There is kind of a werewolf reference there. Yeah, for those that are.
Is he like a send up, like a mix of Claude Rains and Lon Chaney?
Well, I mean, it doesn't really work out timeline wise because we're still in the silence, and they didn't really start making werewolf movies, I think, until Lon Chaney and Sound came in. But I put little Easter eggs in there for people that might be interested in them. I mean, I think one of the things that people have told me they appreciate about Abigail more is that she is a strong female protagonist, but she's not perfect. She makes mistakes. She can be headstrong and jump first and think second, and she gets in over her head. But at the end of the day, she's got a good head on her shoulders. She's a decent human being, and she is the person that you want in your corner fighting for you if and when you get into trouble.
Yeah, love it. I gotta put some recognition to the chat. I don't want to forget this, but we have people posting their backer numbers, and I think what this means is that they've already backed it, possibly day one. So really,
I thought that was
appreciate
his
you.
weight. I was proud. I was like, all right.
I'm playing that lottery number tonight.
We can only guess that. Yeah, that'll be what it is. We also have Lloyd backer number 144. Woo! If you're a backer, put your backer number in, and we will give you a woo. We'll give you a attaboy, whatever you add a girl, whatever you want.
Woo!
So yeah, appreciate it.
At X, whatever you want.
Yeah, excellent. Yeah. So check out Tinseltown if you're looking to get into the series. The beautiful thing about this campaign is you can get every single series. You can completely catch up. You've got a few issues here and there, whatever. You can complete it with all in this one campaign. Support the print run that it takes for all these new books, and support a great creator and a great publisher. So that's Tinseltown. Who wants to go next on their characters?
I guess I'll go.
Keith. All right.
Yeah, right. So Mighty Mascots is basically a group of serial mascots that were brought to life by a 3D printing accident, and they become a superhero team for justice. That's about, basically it's a fun superhero story, throwback to like comics we grew up with in the 70s and 80s, even weird stuff like the original Eastman and Laird Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. They're all archetypes of famous serial mascots. I had, when I was creating the characters, I thought about like how a team dynamic would go with just like a Justice League, where you have your Bruiser, you have your smart character, you have like your leader that's like will powered, force of wills, and
they got some great names, Keith. What are they?
Yeah, actually, you know what? I should bring up the bull call that I have here. Hang on, let me see if I can find the image of that.
Bull call? I hadn't heard that. I don't think.
Well, while you're looking that up, we got a question here in the chat about Tinseltown. Is Tinseltown on arc 2 or still on the 5 through 6 issue arc?
Yeah, so the first 5 issues make up one complete story, and then there is kind of a bridge story called Pinboy that you can get in. It came out on a Wednesday 11, I want to say. It's the green monster in front of the newsstand issue. And then Volume 2 kicks off a brand new story called Losing the Light, and we're working on the final issue 5 of that right now.
Very cool. So that'll answer your question there, Jasper. So yeah, very, very cool stuff. Do you got Keith? Do you have this?
Just about.
Okay.
Hang on, let me see. I'm going through it. I'm just gonna find it here.
William C wants some glory. He's backer 267. Woo!
William C. All right. Thank you, William. Thank you so much. That's awesome, William C. If you too want the glory, back it. Post your backer number, and we will applaud you as you deserve. Thank you, William C.
All right, let me see if I can share the screen here.
All right.
If you want to be the man, you gotta back the man.
Right.
So here, so just like the old Avengers, when they used to have the roll calls right in the beginning of the issue. So from left to right, we got Captain Horatio Honeyflakes, Boxer Bear, Mondo Martian, Brewster McPunch, Professor Manny Coleman, Sea Rat, Whack, Smack, and Boom. So they are some of the most unlikely heroes of all time, I would say. I also was inspired sort of by like DC's Doom Patrol in a weird way. Not as crazy and weird as like the Grant Morrison stuff, but like you know, or even stuff like X-Men where it's just, you know, like you know, one or a human leader with a bunch of weird characters, you know.
Now you're just naming groups of superheroes.
Yeah, yeah,
It
pretty
was
much.
also inspired by Fantastic Four and the Avengers.
All of the
Yeah.
Red Wings. Yeah.
But I wanted, when I approached this series, I wanted to write a fun all ages book, but not like a stupid dumbed down, like, you know, I'm Not Starfire or something like that. I didn't want anything like that. I wanted a fun, yeah, I know, right?
Why would
Shudder.
you say that? Why would you say that on
I
here?
know, I just brought down the whole room. But I wanted something like Batman the Animated Series. I wanted something that both kids and adults could really enjoy, and this is what I came up with.
Love it. We got to stop for a moment. Amy's Birdhouse, number 216. Thank you so much.
Nice.
Appreciate you backing. Get in there, everyone. We will applaud you if you back the campaign. And I've already gushed about this, but I feel like I need to again. I go to great lengths to try and get everyone around me to like comics. Everyone. I try to get my wife to read them, my kids especially. It's just part of my personal mission in life. And Mighty Mascots was one. I backed the campaign. I gave it first to my daughter. She devoured it. She loved it, which was strange for her because she usually like kind of get bored of comics. But in this case, she loved it. So then it was my son's turn. He read it, and it became a problem because he wasn't doing his homework. He had chores to do as well, and he kept wanting to read Mighty Mascots. He loved it. So that sheet that you just showed us back in your campaign, it was great because it had the pins on it. And at first I was like, kids, do you want these pins? And they're like, sure, maybe. Then they read the books, and then they were like, they had their specific characters that were their favorites that they doled out. My son wears pins to school even.
Really?
He'll kind of rotate through them. Yeah. I can't even express like how happy I was that my kids just loved this, especially my son. Wow. He got way into it. So I love it. Truly all ages. Love it. So
that's
great. Has he started drawing them on the walls yet, Clint?
Oh, yeah, that would be fantastic.
No, he hasn't done that one yet. I won't give him any ideas, but that could be a whole nother level of hurt. So
I've gotten not as crazy as stories, but I have heard feedback from other parents that have said that the book has done well with their kids, and kids have really liked it, which is incredible to hear, you know. I mean, I couldn't be more thrilled, you know. I've been trying to, like, you know, like when you talk about characters, I've been trying to add, like, you'll notice in anyone who's read 4 through 6 is like I started to try to add a little bit of character development in there with the main character, Honey Flakes. So I'm trying to do a little bit, but nothing crazy. Like, you know, like I wouldn't do something to the level of like Tinseltown, where Dave like has a fully crafted, you know, like, you know, real flesh and blood character. Whereas like I'm trying not, you know, just doing basic, you know, character development things.
Well, and that is sort of part of their character. They're their team, you know, and how they play off of each other. And it's different. That's the cool thing about all these stories is that they're tailored to the kind of books that they are. So
right, yeah, like because you won't see anything crazy in my book. You'll just, the concept itself is crazy enough, you know. But yeah, it's gonna be. I'll when I write the issues, I always approach it as like, I don't want this, you know, parent to grab this and be like, where's all this blood? And, you know, I don't want any blood and guts in there, you know. But I may, you know, like, you know, maybe down the road, you know, a character could die. You know, I wouldn't shy away from stuff like that, but like I wouldn't be graphic about it either. You know,
sure.
If it flew in like an old Spider-Man comic of the 70s, you could probably see it here as well.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
awesome. Yeah,
we can talk about killing characters once it's at issue 40 or 50.
Yeah, I'm not even really thinking about that, Pete. So, but I'm just saying it could be a possibility.
They haven't begun to live yet. You're like, I could kill them off. I could kill them off.
They've just seen this world.
Yeah.
Now they're going to end. We
gonna
have
do
a question
hot
from.
reboot, you know.
Sorry
Yeah.
about that. We have a question from Splat Guts. Great name, by the way. Are they reprint issues from the last are there reprint issues from the last campaign available on Alterna Access with the new wave of releases yet?
There's what, Pete? You have 1, 2, and 3 that you can get on this campaign, correct? And then
And the giant. Yep.
the giant collects issues 1, 2, and 3. So unless you're a completist and need all the covers, I would say just get the singles or just the giant, you know, and then pick up number 4, and then that's pretty much what's been out so far.
Yeah.
The reprint issues, I think, does he mean 1, 2, and 3 of being available on Alterna Access? Because they are available on Alterna Access if you don't want to wait and back the campaign and wait till everything ships at once. So if you do want to get stuff on the website, you could do that. Or if you want to get it on the Indiegogo, you can just have them as add-ons. As far as 4, 5, and 6 go, though, issue 4 in particular, once all the backers have their stuff shipped out, then we'll list that on Alterna Access. Just issue 4.
Right. And the only way you could have got 4, 5, and 6 is through me on last year's campaign when I was making them. So William C, like the way the series is, it's numbered 1 through 4. The giant only has 1, 2, and 3 in it as a reprint. So whatever one makes more sense to you to get.
Yeah.
I think that's what he's asking, right?
If that didn't answer your question, let us know. And
well, 1, 2, and 3 are a separate story arc, and then issue 4 begins another story arc.
Right. Is that what he's sort of asking?
Yeah.
The issues that were on the Indiegogo, because you had all the issues on the Indiegogo as well,
yes.
But the new issues were 4, 5, and 6. So if you miss Keith's Mighty Mascots campaign, you can get issue 4 here. Otherwise, if you already have it, then you don't need this one.
Right.
So that's also why you can go in there, pick and choose. Or if you just want to get all 10 issues, which include that Mighty Mascots that you may already have, you can do that as well, and then give it away or sell it or do whatever you'd like to do with it. But yeah, it's the same issue that Keith had in his campaign from last year.
Jasper says, oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, I was going to say, I was going to address that. I think the numbering is going to be, it's fixed now, Pete, right? We on the reprints, the miniseries numbering.
Yeah, no, there shouldn't be any confusion with the numbering.
Right.
Mighty Mascots never had a volume 2. This is just Mighty Mascots number 4.
Yeah. So at the end of the day, you just look at the issue number 1, 2, 3, 4, and you should be good to go. If and then those giants will collect those issues.
It's like Splat Guts is referring not to the Mighty Mascots campaign, but to the Because You Demanded It campaign. All of those reprints are available on the site, correct? Gotcha. Yeah, all of that stuff got shipped out, like I think almost 2 months ago. That's when we finished shipping everything out. So all of that, even the blank variants, those have been on the site for quite some time now. So yeah, those are all on there. You can go to the website and pick up any of the reprints you may have missed, any of the blank variants you may have missed. So those are all on Alterna Access right now.
Very cool. Yeah, any questions? This is a good place to ask them. So okay, I think we got you taken care of though. Very cool. All right.
Thanks.
So Alterna Comics, Mighty Mascots, back it. If you haven't backed it yet, let me repost the link here. Maybe it's time to refresh too. If you haven't backed it yet, it's a great time to do so. It's the most affordable, easily the most affordable way to get a lot of reading material and really good books at that. So back it, post your backer number in the chat, and we will thank you graciously like you deserve. And it'll help this campaign to climb up to that next stretch goal. Here's a question. Roland says, can we get any signed books?
Mm-mm.
Through the campaign, I don't think anything's going to be available signed, but we'll see. But I don't think anything, honestly, is going to be available that's signed through the campaign. But afterwards, we might have some stuff that's available to be signed.
Logistically, that could be pretty difficult, I think, because you'd be moving books all over the country.
Yeah, it'd be way easier for you guys to actually talk to the creators one-on-one and then get the book specifically signed, or request them from the creator. And if you get enough requests, then we can say, all right, they can ship a bundle to me, and then I can have them on the store and they're signed on there.
Yeah.
But nothing through the campaign, though.
Yeah, at the moment they're books as is, but these are the newest ones, and you're gonna get these books first. So before they're even books that you'll be ordering anywhere else, like this is for early adopters. You're gonna be there first. You can put spoilers on the internet if you're evil. I mean, we don't condone it, but you could do it in theory. So
old-fashioned piracy. Just take a picture of all of the pages.
All right, we picked up one more backer.
Nice.
Piracy talk is working. $10,440. That's a nice round
Clint,
number. But
you did say you want to make comics, no matter what, you want to get them out into the world, So
exactly, yeah.
R.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll go there. All right, thanks for backing. Really appreciate everybody. The nice next round number would be 240. The next backer will make us 240. It'll ruin the 440 over here, but that's okay. It's all part of the game.
Go ruin it. Ruin it all day long.
Ruin it. We might as well. But 240, wouldn't that be a great backer number to be at? I think so. I didn't forget about Ryan, but because we're on the page here, I'm going to talk about Downcast first. And I feel like I talk about it so much on this channel over time that I'm actually going to talk about a character that does not get enough recognition, which is Jax. So there's Joanne and Jax, which are the two main characters. And Jax I just love his character arc. I've had comments from readers that have said, they read issue number 1 and Jax kind of seems like a wimp. And I got excited about that because that's kind of where he's at. That's where he's supposed to be. And then over the course of Downcast, he learns and grows, and it's really a coming of age story for Jax, and he becomes what he needs to be, based on the situation that he and his sister are in. And so he's a really fun character. I've always loved Donatello. He's my favorite of the 4 characters. And so he's a combination of Donatello and my youngest brother Wayne, actually. So he's a tinkerer. He fixes things, and his like ideal place to be. I don't want to give any spoilers, but in volume 3, that gets put to work. He basically has maybe I shouldn't say much else. He gets to work in a shop, we'll say that, and put that to good use. And so that tinkering and stuff ends up being really important to the Downcast story arc. That you'll catch up here in issue number 3, but it'll actually become a bigger thing throughout. So Jax is a really fun character. I've had some readers send me fan art sketches just directly through my email saying that he's their favorite character, which has been kind of fun because he's one of those characters I really like, but he just hasn't had as much of the spotlight. So it's really fun, and I've got some great plans for him in future Downcast books. So very cool. Ryan, what do you want to tell us about Hammerella or Gods and Gears? Who the characters you want to pick on this time?
I think I want to talk Gods and Gears. I have an image here I can share from this computer.
Oh yeah, please do. Let me post the link one more time, and then we'll share yours. We'll see. Maybe we can get this number to move. Here we go. Add to stream.
So I haven't talked about these guys in a long time, so I feel a little bit rusty, and I almost feel a little bit like, oh, maybe I shouldn't have a picture of them up. They shouldn't hear that I haven't been talking about them much lately. Because I got other characters, there's other people to deal with. But this is Jimmy and Eli from Gods and Gears. The older one being Jimmy, the younger, shorter one there being Eli. And they both have... They both are sort of expressions of me, but I didn't realize that when I started writing them. So Jimmy is, obviously he's older. He's a little more calmer. He's got a cooler head. He's more thoughtful. He's very heartfelt. He thinks a lot with his emotions, but he acts clinically, like he thinks things through. Whereas Eli, even though he's young, he's very... I guess cantankerous would be a word you would use. He's extremely adventurous. He doesn't like to be reined in by his parents or his grandparents or anybody else. He loves adventure, and he loves getting himself deep into trouble, like basically like getting into stuff he shouldn't get into. And in our world, they deal with ancient magic that was left behind by these ancient gods thousands of years ago. So he finds himself following in his footsteps, the footsteps of his grandpa, and wanting to sort of learn more about that. And he ends up dragging Jimmy along. And what I wanted to do with the story was not only have two characters that sort of balance each other out, and they can sort of together they can solve a lot of things, and individually they'll have certain solutions for things and certain characteristics that are downfalls as well. But I also wanted to sort of like represent characters that were like me and my friends when we were young, and that was like we were wild children. Like up to like 13, we were just like wild. Like we were like latchkey kids or whatever. So there was no parental instructions.
Eating bugs, beating up homeless people.
Well, I mean,
wild.
we could build anything we wanted. My dad's tools, like we would get reckless, and we would try to do things with we would do all these things. So I wanted to kind of like have these really fun characters, but then also put them in situations that even if maybe you don't identify with the character, you'll identify with their home situation. So they've each lost a loved one before this story starts, and we're sort of seeing how they both react to the dealing with that. Where one of them is, way more. That's all he thinks about. Jimmy's kind of like lost in thought like that, where Eli's just like moving ahead. He's like, I just gotta, even though he's following in his grandpa's steps, the loss of his grandpa has kind of triggered him to not really be thinking or listening to anybody. He's being a little bit reckless. So together they on this first adventure, they have to trek across the jungle, and they have to learn to work together. And they sort of like, sounds cliche, but they learn the importance of like family and friendship and how powerful that can be.
Well, it's that classic mix too of one's more logical, one's more emotional.
Exactly.
And it is both to their advantage and to their hindrance, and they kind of learn from each other.
And I don't like to use other characters, but in a shorthand, like pairings that I like that inspired them are like Booster Gold and Blue Beetle. They're not analogous exactly to them, but they very much were inspired by that sort of pairing. And we're going to see them throughout their different ages as well in this series, because we're going to be following them basically through their lives. So we will eventually see them both as adults and things like that. In fact, we've seen one as an adult. If you've read the story, you know what I'm talking about. But if not, I don't want to spoil it. But
and just like Mighty Mascots, this is a really great title for kids too, but it's not necessarily written or made for kids. And I know with Mighty Mascots, it sounds like, what do you mean it's not like made for kids? Because it's such a lighthearted kind of superhero sort of story. But it's not dumbed down. It's not watered down. There's themes in it that are a little bit more complex. And then with Gods and Gears especially, I feel like it's that next level above. And it's completely just family-friendly kind of fare that I think a lot of comics are kind of missing now. But we grew up with all that kind of stuff. And
the goal
story,
was
the
like,
pacing, the characters are great.
Yeah, the goal was like do something like one of the classic Disney movies, like I like even like Aladdin or something like that, but a little like just slightly more mature, like just a little. So it's still fun, like you said, a kid could flip through it, and it's a fun jungle adventure. There's pirates on a push cart on an old abandoned rail car. There's all kinds of like, there's giant birds. There's all kinds of like fun visual stuff. But then like the adults all send me like pictures, literally pictures of their comic, like when they get to the part where Jimmy deals with his dad, and they're like, "Oh man, this hit home. This hit home right here." But for a kid, that's not gonna hit for a kid, but it's also not gonna distract from the kid's enjoyment of the story either.
Well, it might not necessarily hit for a kid, but it might even mirror something that they're going through at the time and even help them through it.
Yeah, because a lot of the story is about forgiveness, about forgiving the people around you and stuff like that. So,
Yeah.
Hopefully kids are learning about forgiveness.
No,
Right.
that's good. My story about Gods and Gears. I think this is the next one that I want to kind of move my kids to because they've been again starting to read more comics. But this was one I've handed out so many of these at Halloween. I think it was 2 years ago now because there was no Alternaween last year, right?
Yeah, we only did Alternaween, and it's the same way again. It's going to be
Yeah.
through the website, through Alterna Access. It's not going to be an Indiegogo campaign.
Yeah. So it was great. I had to buy this series again because I gave out all of my copies of Gods and Gears, so I bought it again so that I could have my copies. But kids came to the door and I couldn't just not give them any comics. I burned through them all. So this one was pretty
Awesome.
popular. It was letting them choose and great covers, and I gave out a whole bunch of these during Alternaween. So
next
great.
year, take the issue 1 reprints, and anyone that you recognize, you're like, hey, did I give you one? Here, why don't you trade the one I gave you? Give me that first print. I'll give you this reprint.
I know. Come on, kid, that's worth money.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's how it would go. So and Gods and Gears, you can get that right now. There's no wait. You can get those right now on alternaaccess.com. I posted, let's see, I should think ahead here. There's alternaaccess.com. I'll post that as well.
Actually, that's alternacomics.com. If you want the web store, it's different.
Yeah, what do you do here? Shop?
I would imagine so.
There we go. Fairly intuitive, I would say. There's the correct. I posted 3 links in a row. All of them are great places to go. You won't regret it. But yeah,
that's like a mini ad for the site. You're like, oh, how do I do this? Oh, just push shop. Oh, how easy.
Unlike Twitter, the words actually make sense.
Yeah, it was funny. I made a video a long time ago. It feels like going over websites, like Marvel's website, like how confusing it was to get to, but where are the comics to buy, And I went over Alterna too, and you got high scores. I'd have to look at that one, but so it is definitely intuitive.
Not a biased review whatsoever, right, Clint?
Honestly, this was a long time ago.
No way, really? Wow.
Yeah, it was before I think I'd even met you or spoken to you. So
wow.
Yeah, it did well. Marvel's website bothers me because it's not very easy. Comics are just such a footnote to everything. So
yeah. Well, I guess it's accurate then. It's representative of the company right now.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah,
comics are the last thing on their mind. They're like, oh yeah, those things.
Yeah, absolutely. So because there were questions in chat about, or like comments about, well, what age groups are they in? I figured we could just go through that real quickly. I know for me that's important. I want to know, like, not that there's a good or a bad, but you just want to know, like, oh, should I buy this for my kid?
Descriptions and the credits and the age group ratings is actually up top.
Oh, cool. We'll do it that way then.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Make it nice and easy. No guesswork.
There we go. Is that right here?
Yep.
Yeah. So Downcast, I can tell you, is teen. I would say it's it's pretty much like a traditional superhero book kind of level stuff. There's some violence in it. I think a hand getting cut off happens in issue 1. That's pretty well the level of violence that you'll get. There's some slashing and cutting that happens. But yeah, generally speaking, yeah, teen I think is pretty accurate. Tinseltown, let's see. Tinseltown, what's Tinseltown? Is that teen?
Yep, Tinseltown would be teen. Oh, actually, yeah. I lied to you. I'm so sorry, Clint.
No,
I'm so
sorry. I'm like, am I missing it? I can't see it.
When you click on the single issues, you'll see 40 pages, black and white mature, or 32 pages color, teen. You'll see that
there
as you go down.
Teen. Well, maybe we'll do it that way then.
Yeah, that might be the easiest way.
So Wolf and Batsy has been the best seller so far. Brand new series. It is mature. So that way it is mature. Would not say for kids, but it would definitely be something for adults, which I think are probably most of our...
The violence and gore and things like that. Not so much language. There's a little bit of nudity. But it's a black and white thing. Yeah.
there you go. We have it came out on a Wednesday, which is teen. I was gonna say mature. That would have been my guess, but because it is an anthology, but this is teen.
Pushes the line there, but yeah, it's teen.
Maybe teen plus if there's such a thing. Let's see. Tinseltown, we talked about this. It's teen. This I can tell you, Mr. Crypt and Friends is for all ages. My kids also really like that series. We talked about Downcast, that's teen. Mighty Mascots, all ages. And again, all ages literally means all ages. If you're an adult, it's enjoyable. It's good stuff. So Red Koi is mature. T-Bird and Throttle is teen.
Yeah, and Red Koi is like a very light mature.
Yeah. It gets kind of hard when there's these definitive lines, but yeah.
If it was like the 90s, I would just honestly, if it was the 90s, I'd say pretty much all of these are all ages.
Yeah.
That anyone could read these really, other than maybe Wolf and Batsy, only because of the nudity. But there's not a lot of nudity, and so some issues might be mature rated, and other issues would just be, just considered normal. Even Blood Realm, I don't even know if I would say Blood Realm's mature, but nowadays where everything is just, a certain thing, you don't want kids reading it. Pete Engstrom knows firsthand, you don't want your kid reading Blood Realm. They're going to get nightmares. They're going to wake you up.
Just from beholding the cover, that's all it takes.
So there's some frightening imagery or intense themes or anything like that, then we give it a mature rating.
Yeah.
Back in the 80s, they totally would have sold Wolf and Batsy to me at 11, 12 years old at a comic shop. No problem.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Some of them were selling heavy metal.
Mm-hmm.
If you think about it.
Those
They
were
just anyway to sell a book. It did. Yeah. Things have changed. I think of video game ratings or whatever, but
yeah. Everything is. I mean, there were movies from like the 70s that were rated like G or PG, and there'd be nudity.
Yeah.
I remember. Still 16 Candles was the show that was PG, and there's some nudity in there. But in high school it was always they would say we're going to watch a movie at the end of the year, and everyone would say 16 Candles, so that it had to be PG. Then they'd say 16 Candles, and as long as the teacher was uninitiated, then that's what would be shown in class, and it would be hilarity would ensue. So that happened twice when I was in high school. So yeah, that goes through all the books. Blood Realm, yeah, we said that was mature. Great books. All of them are great books. These are all fantastic. Good way to go is, you can do the digital bundle for $15. That's 10 books for $15. I prefer print personally, especially because the great smell of newsprint. $25, you get 10 books. That's a lot of reading material. Maybe you haven't tried out some of these series. It's a great way to sort of sample across a whole bunch of series, support a bunch of creators, making good books, and support a fantastic publisher as well. So do back. I'm gonna post this link. I've been trying to watch the chat for more numbers, but I don't know if I've been doing a very good job of it. So I'm gonna post
scanning too. I'm looking at this as Christmas gifts.
Yeah,
that's what I'm looking at.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna be doing I'm basically gonna be going and doing the shopping cart method. I think that's pretty much what I'm gonna end up doing.
That's a good way to do it.
Absolutely.
The one thing that I wish Indiegogo would do, and maybe they will eventually, would be the ability to have the backer actually adjust quantity. So if they want 4, 5, 6, whatever it is of something, or even just 2, that's fine too. They could do that without it having to be in excess of going back and forth and backing again and again and again. Because on our end, we can put the limited quantity, or we can put unlimited. So, if they want to get how many, they should be able to do so easily. But, it's the nitty gritty nitpicking with Indiegogo. They've grown leaps and bounds in the past couple of years. So I love the add to cart system. I think that's awesome. I love the fact that you can have people go in there and back again. On Kickstarter, it was very frustrating with, they have to modify the pledge and then you have to keep track of stuff. And then before you know it, you got like this whole crazy madman notebook of writing down, okay, they did this and they did that. And, and then maybe hopefully you get it all right when you ship everything out and then people remember what they backed. Here it's very concise and very simple to do.
So much better.
Yeah,
So
I
much
love
better.
how straightforward it is, and just even the idea of seeing perks, like the images, you could put the perks on there. So I love the fact that Indiegogo has that.
Yeah.
But if Indiegogo's out there in the ether listening, I'd appreciate adjusting the quantity for the backers. They could do so manually. That'd be great.
The nice thing too is they'll send like after a campaign, they'll ask you a question, like the survey, and I've put specific feedback in and they'll call me or email me and ask me about it, which is really cool that they're that responsive. But this is my first time myself trying the add-on perks. And it's been pretty well. We'll see how fulfillment goes. It probably gets a little bit more complicated, but the fact that you can essentially just tailor your order to whatever you want, that's such a huge benefit.
I went to Simplify after a couple months ago, went to Simplify the Hammerella campaign and just went to book and digital only. That was it. No more perks or anything. Forgot to shut down the add-ons. So then got a bunch more orders. And people are like, oh, so cool. I got this, and this. I'm like, how'd you get all that? Like, and they're like, it was all there. I was like, oh, okay. Which was fine. It was fine. It's just more Gods and Gears issues to sell. That's all it was. I was fine with that. But in my head, I had closed shop. And people were like, no, look at my cart. And I was like, what?
You left the back door open. We're
So even accidentally, the add-on thing is super cool.
Yeah. Absolutely.
I'm used to it too. So some people were like, oh, doesn't it get overwhelming? I'm like, I got a store full of 300 items. This, putting 40 add-ons or whatever is a cakewalk.
This is life.
Yeah, and I really enjoy the Indiegogo interface too. As far, even if we're just talking about that versus Kickstarter, other platforms, even I like the graphic design. I like the style of it, everything, the workability of it. Like,
it's
I just
grown
dig
a
it
lot.
all.
It's too bad, Pete, like with the way you're doing stuff too, that they can't save those add-ons for future campaigns, I mean, I guess you could save the descriptions.
Oh,
and the
yeah.
pictures.
I'd love to be able to do that too. That would be something else if Indiegogo can figure out how to port a campaign.
Yeah, that would be cool. Yeah.
And just kind of use that as, okay, here's the template for the next one with everything. And then you just adjust. Oh, man, that would be a time saver.
Yeah, definitely.
Here's an idea for you. I'd like to see an annual Alterna Halloween anthology special in giant format. That would be
sure.
pretty
I'd love to see that too.
That would take some doing, but it would be cool.
I don't know for those that don't know, Alterna is creator owned. So as soon as you become a creator owned publisher, it's in the hands of the creators with what kind of stories, what kind of books, what kind of team ups, what kind of crossovers they want to make. So there's a lot of things we'd all absolutely would love to do, but between creator IP issues, working together and finding the time to do that, and then carving out certain things, it gets a little tricky. But I would love to do at least one type of Alterna annual or something each year. Maybe we can make a crowdfunding campaign out of it and get together a couple creators that have ideas that want to actually iron out an issue. I think that would be a lot of fun. I think people would dig that. But it's all logistic stuff, and it's all backroom, CD conversations.
Yeah, we have to decide. I'm down. If any, other
I get
creators would
first
wanna do
credit,
it.
right? I'm billed on top, right, guys? It's all that kind of stuff, right?
Yeah. Well, just for the record, I'm down. I'm down to participate.
It's like, no, y'all are getting sideways billing. It's like, oh well, who gets the first one on the left?
We gotta have like the Mighty Mascots in the chair.
Yeah.
Well, it was crazy. Speaking of giving credit to people, when I was putting the chair together, the film, they'd want, I want my own title card. I want my own credit. I don't want to be combined with someone else. It's like the idea of having the two or three names
credit
together. Oh, it was so offensive. I'm thinking like, goodness gracious, no one really cares, right? No one really reads those things. It's just you. It's just you to pause the screen and take a picture and go, see, I'm important.
Yeah.
No one really cares. They're like, oh my God, credits. Ugh.
Right.
That's so true. They're for the people that are listed in them.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, and no one's gonna continue to watch. I guess if they're at the beginning and you kind of have to, like they're woven into the
Right.
opening scene.
I'm like-
That's the way you trick people.
I
into
wish
it.
they were all like Star Wars, just boom, right into it. I don't care who's in it. We'll look at that afterwards. I want to get into the story.
Yeah.
But that kind of a thing with comics and creator own, it's a different mindset. It's not the kind of thing of this is my character or whatever, and I'm hiring different creators to do something. So we want to make sure everyone has is represented fairly and gets their fair share of whatever it is they want to participate with in that story. So that's why combined stuff is usually a little tougher to iron out.
Yeah. We'd have to get together, I guess, and figure it out. So I think it'd be cool though. I think it'd be a really fun idea. At the very least, like a crossover with two different IP. That'd be fun. But we have to take a moment to applaud Mandible Smasher, backer number 101 and 269. What? You can back twice? He said, hello, thank you very much. He says, my nephew is a huge Alterna and Tinseltown fan, so I had to get him his own issues, introducing him to Downcast and Mighty Mascots this round.
Nice.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Awesome. Again, the power of the add-ons. You can get all these books included in whatever run you want to get. You can get here. So
he backed twice, so he's getting 2 trading cards. So he's getting 2 red koi trading cards, and then he's going to be getting, when we unlock, because we're going to totally reach 15K. When we unlock 15K and get that second trading card, he's going to get 2 of that as well.
Oh, cool.
Very cool. The sweet surge is moving. I can feel the sugar flowing through our veins. We're at $10,537. Thank you, everybody that has backed the campaign. Not just tonight, but period. Really appreciate that. That's going to help us. I think 11K it's in striking distance. We're totally moving up toward 11K, which is a big step toward that 15K. So that'll be huge. Thank you, everybody. Manimal Smasher, it gets even better. $5 super chat. Thank you so much. He said, I meant that as a super chat. Well, thank you.
Awesome.
I do appreciate that. Helps out the channel. Cool. Well, guys, it's been a really fun stream. I think I have an idea. I want to do more of these Alterna every so often on my channel, just because it's fun to have you guys over. But I've got some more ideas of questions I could ask. We could get to know your books a little bit better, more in depth, kind of like we did tonight. So yeah, I hope you're all game. We'll do it again sometime.
Heck yeah.
Talk about
Yeah.
books.
Absolutely.
And anytime you guys are doing crowdfunding campaigns or just the next issue comes out, if you want to make this part of what your rounds, I don't stream a lot, but I like to stream about Alterna books. So hit me up and we'll make it happen.
Yeah,
Cool.
sounds good.
Most definitely.
All right. Well, I think we're gonna close it off because I'm gonna go to work tomorrow morning. So
Yeah, same.
yeah. So thanks everybody for coming. Really appreciate everyone for watching. If you're watching it after the fact, maybe it's tomorrow, if you're in the future, you can check out the links to the campaign here, all these books in the one link below. I also did show off my good friend Chaz's his card game, totally not related, just a cool looking card game. You can sign up for his mailing list there on the landing page, and that's launching it's in a few days. So it's October 1st that's launching. So you can check that out as well. And we'll keep an eye on Alterna and see how it goes. So thanks everybody, and we'll see you in the next video.